Today we're going to do a teardown on a gadget that I've had for about 15 years, I guess, and it's quite rare. You don't see these come up that often, and when they do come up, they're actually relatively expensive considering what it is, but it is quite unique. It's a collector's item, and we're going to take a look at it right now, and I'm going to take it apart. Let's check it out. It's November the 11th, 2019, and I don't have a video to repair. I'm not going to repair anything today because it's a holiday, and especially today, it's a day that we shouldn't be working because we have to respect those that put their lives on the line to fight the two great, well, all the great world wars. We got the World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, but anyway, and my grandfathers and uncles and father were involved in the war effort back in the early 1900s and 1940s. Today, I'm going to show you something that I have never shown before. I'm just showing you, this is the actual real time. This is synchronized time. We're going to show you something that I have never shown before. And this is my pin clock. This is kind of a unique piece. It displays the time by electromagnetic pins that are either pushed forward or pulled back against the background. What's neat about this thing is if you tilt it and then you tap a button, either button, it will redisplay the time. If you tip it all the way forward, press the button, it will redisplay the time. So it's kind of a unique clock. It was sold by the Source, which is what replaced Radio Shack when Radio Shack pulled out of Canada. And I'm going to take this apart and show it to you guys. But first, it's now 11:11, and we're going to have a minute of silence to respect those that gave their life for the wars. Okay, now that we've paid our respect, let's take this thing apart and see what makes it tick. I've seen other videos that people have done of these clocks, and I've never seen one taken apart. And I've yet to take this one apart. So we're going to see what's inside this thing together. It's held together by 6 threaded into plastic screws, and I have no idea what's going to happen when I take this thing apart. Are all the pins going to fall out? I have no idea. This has been sitting in my office for forever, and it's been one of those pieces. When I'm recording, I have to be careful that I record between the minutes so that you don't hear it clicking. Sometimes you might actually hear it if I'm recording audio in my studio. Sometimes you might hear the thing in the background click. Okay, screws removed. Oh, interesting. So the back is just the batteries. Holy smoke! Look at all those transistors. Looks like we have a power supply over here of some type. maybe it requires higher voltage to, yeah, I would think that maybe this is the clock circuit over here. We've got a crystal. This is going to be the clock circuit. And it looks like it may have a boost converter in it as well. There's a little inductor here and a transistor and a couple diodes. So I have a feeling that this probably steps the voltage up to a higher voltage to operate the solenoids. But there is the solenoid drive board. Get a load of all the transistors this thing's got in it. Let's count them. You got 6, 12, 18, 24, 98. Did I count right? 98 transistors. Are those transistors or diodes? Yeah, they're transistors. There's diodes as well. And there's equivalent glass diodes. You can see them all here. What these are for, obviously, is for the kickback from the solenoids. When the solenoids click. When they shut the transistor off and the voltage collapses on each of the solenoid drive, it's going to produce a kickback voltage. And that diode is there to protect the transistor from getting hit from a high voltage spike. I wonder whether we can, do I dare take this board out, or this thing's going to fall apart. I don't want to destroy this clock because it's, I've had it a long time. I actually got it as a gift for my birthday. My wife bought it for me. She saw it and thought it was kind of cool and bought it for my birthday. So I really don't want to damage this thing. But I'd like to see what's behind here, if it's possible. It's probably not smart that I'm working on this thing with it powered up too, but we'll try not to short anything out. Okay, does this little board come out or not? Ah, it does. Okay, well, I thought we might see something, but actually there's another board underneath here with all the solenoids on it. I wonder if we can... Oh, there go my buttons. Button caps are falling off. But yeah, you can see the solenoids inside here. If I activate one of the buttons to trigger it, see? Hours over here, 1, and then the hours, the colon, the tens of minutes, and the minutes over here. I wonder if we can actually see, the rest of it. If I take out these other 4 screws, whether we can actually see the actual solenoids themselves. And these clocks, believe it or not, go for quite a bit of money. You look on eBay and they're going for like $60–70 for a clock that's, you know, it's over 15 years old, and that's when they come up. They don't even come up that often. If you look on eBay, there's a good chance you won't even see any of these things listed. There's not a lot of them around. They're actually, I'd say, quite, if not very rare these days. It should lift out. If I can grab it and pull it straight out. Cool. Now that's something you don't see every day. You get all the little electromagnets down here with all the fine wires to each of the digits that trigger it. And there'll be another one on the other side, because this is these coils here will be to pull the pins back, and there's another bank of these on the other side to pull the pins forward. Now that is kind of cool. And that's as far as I'm going to take this apart, because I don't want to damage it. So we're going to put this back together now and reassemble the clock, and hopefully it still works. But I just thought this was something kind of cool that I could show you guys on a holiday today, because it's not a day to be to be working. Quite often I do work on Remembrance Day. Last year I think I worked on the 11th. And because we get big time holiday pay to work on a stat, but this year I didn't put my name in for it this year, because they put out at work, they put out requests like if they're looking for people to come in, and I figured this year I'd leave it for someone else. Because I've got some holidays that are still coming up, and I figured I would just add this to my holidays. I didn't use up all my holidays for the year this year, and because I didn't book all my holidays, they were booked for me. So I'm off this week. Guess I gotta put these back on before I slide that back in there. And then put the back on it. Oh, I'm gonna put these screws in first. Better not forget them. (2004). That's when this was made. Oh, cool. What a coincidence. Look at the date. I just noticed this. November the 11th, 2004 was the date that this was manufactured. Now, how cool is that? To be doing a teardown on this thing November the 11th, 2019. So I probably got this for my birthday. I would have got it for my birthday in 2005. As you can see, this is the CK33 solenoid PCB, revision 3, 11th November 2004. So that means this clock had to be made after that. That's when the board was made. I'm sure I got this for my birthday, 2005. I don't know what this coating on the back. I guess this is probably what this is. It's probably, you know what? That's probably what that coating is, 05. It's probably March, January. I bet it's January. 3rd of January, that makes more sense. 3rd of January 2005 is the date that this thing was assembled. And there it is. Now it's 11:26 and I'm done. What's neat about this thing is that you don't see it if you're looking at it straight on. You have to look at it at an angle because it works off the shadow of the lights. So if you look at this thing square, like right on, it's hard to see the time. But if you look at it at an angle, it works off the three-dimensional shadow effect. So you put this up on a shelf higher than where you're going to be sitting or standing, you can see the time, no problem. But if you put it on your desk and you're staring straight at it and it's at eye level, you don't see the time. It looks like that if you're looking at it square, like straight on. You have to be looking at it from an angle to see it. Anyway, that's all we're going to do on this one. I hope you enjoyed this nostalgic look at a very unusual clock that I've never seen anything like this before. And that's why when I saw it in the store, I mentioned it to my wife. I said, "Oh, they had this really cool clock down at Radio Shack. The numbers were made with little pins that pop forward and backwards, And lo and behold, my birthday comes along, and I got it for my birthday. And I thought that was kind of neat. Anyway, to say it keeps good time. I've had it all these years. Its batteries last in about a year. The D-size batteries, they last a long time. And yeah, it's been a neat little conversation piece that you don't see too many of these around. If you're interested in one of these things today, you're going to pay a lot for it. I think at the time it was like 30 bucks at the time when they sold it, but they go for a lot more than that now. I've seen them on eBay going for 60, 70, 80 US dollars, sometimes higher. And, you know, I'd say they're kind of a neat conversation piece for someone who is fascinated with time and likes to have all these different clocks from different eras. This is pretty much a must-have for anybody that collects timepieces. Thanks for watching.